Hello everyone, I'm Vasily. I hope you know that. You watched my previous videos, right? You are so awesome. So, new year, right? New year, we have new promises. I have new promises to myself, right? To record more videos, to record more often, right? I will try to do this, right? Each Monday, each month, each year, you promise to yourself, okay, I will do that. I also have a list of promises. I hope I can keep this cadence. I hope so. Maybe not. So, what we're doing here, I have no idea. I do not remember actually. So, we started with you, of course, to do some kind of homework, right? So this homework, of course, for iOS interviews, right? So when we still have in iOS world, in programming world, in interviews world, right? Programming interviews world, from time to time we have a homework, right? I mentioned several times that I'm not a big fan of homeworks, right? But we still have a situation, specifically if you are junior, middle, even a senior engineer, right? There's a big chance that some of the companies will ask you to do something at home, right? We started doing that on the previous episode. We created a core. I think it will be better to show the code and we can refresh our memories, your memory and my memory, because I do not remember after like these holidays. I do not remember what was there. So before we start, I want to remind you that this video is just for fun, right? So it's not a tutorial, it's not a compressed material for you, right? Not a theory. I'm not going to explain you all the details. I'm not going to teach you. Here I just want to have some fun, right? I just sit, turn on this wonderful camera and start writing code. And of course, during that I want to share my thoughts with you guys. And of course, you're going to share your thoughts, right? Somewhere, in a comment, or you can send me mail, or you can send me owl. Oh, yeah. During the holidays, I watched Harry Potter again. So, yeah, and that is my fresh association, right? Okay. So, yeah, if you want to learn something, you want to get real knowledge, right? You don't want to hear so many water words, right, that right now you are hearing, because for example I have here another computer and I'm trying to find, okay, like we already talk like 3 minutes, right, and no results, right? If you do not want to hear all of this, I will add time codes. Probably I can hear my cat. Yeah. About music, I'm also listening the same music that you are. Most of them are new for me. I will click like, dislike and so on to have my I don't know, like library for the streamings. So yeah. About video format. Sorry. I need to open the door and enter my wonderful cat, Forni. Of course. Ooh. That was a noisy sound, right? I'm sorry, guys. So, as I mentioned, will be live recording. I do not know how to edit videos, right? I know how to clip and that is it. Please do not tell that you want to go I'm sorry guys, looks like today I'm going to do many sport exercises, right? Stand up and sit down. Of course, Forni. Yeah, you can go. You can go. Write me if you have the same wonderful cat. I mean, not the same, but if you have wonderful cat, dog, any other pet, please write about it in the comments, share maybe some pictures and so on. Yep. Okay. I think enough words, right? I mentioned about this video, about the concept, right? Let me switch to another view. And right now, let me make sound for myself a little bit less louder, right? Yeah, my English is still on the same level. It's not perfect, sorry guys. So, okay, so let's return to our code base. Looks like we have assembly, we have router, right? Wonderful, so we created interfaces. Do you remember what is interface, right? We created, I'm talking about this, right? So interface, it's like a definition of functions, properties that must be in the project, in the class, in the class. So if I have an interface, I know this is protocol, but pattern named as interface, right? Okay, we have protocol, this protocol, please do not ask me to read it, right? So this is assembly able. Oh, so that's mean it could be this a class, or yeah, class that will confirm it will have to contain this function, right? So this is an interface. An interface, you describe a minimum what must be in the object, right? Or instance, right? Here we're talking about object because this protocol should be inherited, I don't know, confirmed by the object, right? Okay, so we have assembly, interface, and here we have assembly. Okay, assembly element. Oh, looks like we also implemented creating root controller, right? Let me check it. So we have assembly, right? In this assembly we have, yeah, we have this. So as you mentioned, we have this wonderful type. Probably I talk about it. This is definition. This is like a short description what we're gonna create, right? Because we do not want to transfer here lots of parameters. We want to transfer just minimum. Okay, let's go to the router. Fast refresher, right? Router is the object that allow to navigate inside the application, right? So for example, when you have one screen and you want to push another, right, that is a responsibility of the router, right? So yeah, and here we have implementation. Looks like you can see that we have dependency with assembly, right? But this is all core. And looks like we need to resolve this dependency right now. Okay, I think I know what we can do today. Again, I do not have a plan, right? So live video, you can write your comments and like ideas. Hey Vasily, like let's talk about this, let's talk about that, and based on your comments I can make application better, and I can make next video based on your comments, right? Like based on your ideas in the comments, right? Okay, so let me try to remember. So I was talking about this, about assembly, right? And probably in SceneDelegate we have this, right? So we create assembly and router rights in the SceneDelegate. This is good and bad. I would like to keep SceneDelegate clean, right? For this purpose, let's create a core. Let's create another class, right? So in the class, in the core class, we will create the most important elements. Again, look at the router, right? In the router we have assembly, right? And also probably there is a big chance that we will use router inside assembly too when we create our view controllers, right? Because we will put router to their view controller. That view controller can use it and navigate to another view, right? So it's like a circle dependency, right? And we should resolve it. Right now, on a previous episode, we resolve it like this, right? We just created assembly, and we create router, right? And probably let's move both of them because they are all in core, right? This is specific behavior for core. Later we will have services and lots of other things, but for right now we will create a core. I hope this is clear, guys. Sorry if not. So new file, core will be core, and of course we will create interface, but we can start with just core, right? Okay, so why it is class? Because we want to create it once and use references. Do you remember difference between class and reference? Yeah, you can write it in the comment. Write please correct answer. Of course we will read it, and you also will teach me what is the difference between class and structure. I said class and route? Class and structure, right? So, and also write why I want to use core here. Yep. Okay, I want to reuse it. I want to use class because I want to create it once and use a reference. I don't want to create core many times. So for core, for router, for assembly, we want to create just one object, right? Each object of these elements, and that is it. We don't want to duplicate them. We don't want to create a I don't know, like a temporary copy and so on. So this is the reason why I use classes. So class, wonderful. So what we're going to do next? We have these two wonderful things, right? Okay, let's put them in a core, and of course we can put them directly in the initializer. So why I want to do this in initializer? Maybe? No, because all of them are important and we want to create all of them at the same time, right? So that means that we will do this thing. So it will be assembly, right? All of them will be private for right now, right? So router and assembly will be assembly, right? Can we do like this? Okay, and probably I can see the problem here, right? We have two properties and they should be initted before we use wait a moment, let me try to do next think. So I want to use core, right? So instead of these two properties, we will create one. But for right now, to keep the current functionality, I want to comment all of them. Lazy variable core, it will be core. Oh, wonderful music. I already pressed like button. Good choice, Vasily. So core, right? Next we will add interface here later, right? And what we're gonna do, right? So we want to init. Do we need to transfer this too, right? Because we will make initializing, right? Probably yes. So we will just copy this code, right? We will go to the core and put it inside the core, right? So inside core, because I don't want to expose core, this router in the core, right? So let's see. Okay, we need to start. So where is my core? I will put it here, right? Because we already. Can I remove self here, right? Will it work? And okay, of course, we need UIKit, right? To make all of this work, right? Okay, so let's return to our SceneDelegate and just call this function, right? So core, and we have scene, right? We have scene, will connect to, and option, right? So again, like you can say that I use it as a proxy. Proxy means like I do not have any logic here. I just copy function and call it in another place. Why I did that? Why I did it here? Again, I don't want to expose these properties. I want they to be hidden inside core. Okay. So what is our next step? Scene. We'll connect to session, and we have connection option. Okay. Let's try to run and see what would happen. Will it? I'm not sure it is running. Let's go to core, right? Why it's not running? It is interesting. Okay, it is running, right? And we have normal var properties, right? We have strong references, so router is not empty. Okay, and we will be here, continue. Okay, we have window, and for window we will just create it here, right, and keep it and make it visible. But right now it is working. What? Okay, maybe first time it was like a longer loading. Oh, what I forgot. So let's try to be a good engineers, right? And let's try to use our Git. So regularly So I want to see not all files, only pending. Right, so let's create a new branch. It will be dev, right, create a branch. And also we will create another branch from dev. It will be dev slash what we're going to do right now. We're going to do a core, right? It will be a core branch, right? For right now it's absolutely okay. So this is how I suggest to work. You make any change, small changes. Let's try to do. For me, it's also hard to make small changes. I like to rewrite all of the code, right? But let's try to do this if it's possible. So as an engineer, when you are on an interview, you also want to show to the interview team that you know how to work with the Git, right? So we created dev, then we created a branch from dev, like a dev core, right? Oh. Okay. Okay, it's weird. New cannot be. Okay. Feature core. Okay. So we will create another branch, feature, right? And we will work on feature, because if something goes wrong, we can roll back all our changes, right? And start from scratch. But like if we pass a very long way and we have to roll back lots of the code, for us it will be like a disaster, right? We have to write so many code again. We don't want to do this. So try to focus on the small iterations, small steps, small amount of code, and then always save. Like it's like a computer game, right? When we play, we try to save on each moment, right? When it is possible, because someone can kill us and so on. I do not remember what's happened in computer gaming world. Okay, we created feature core. So, and right now I want to make a commit. So, like we can see all the changes, right? And what I created, I just initted core. Initted core class. All of this is public, right? And I also, yeah, why not? No. I will push it after video, when I release video, because you can track it, right? And even if video not released, you can see all changes. We don't want to do this, right? Or we want? I don't know. You know what to do, right? So initted core class. Okay, let's comment it. So this application, it's the name of it is source tree, right? Here we are, source tree. Yes, you can use Git in a command line in a terminal, but we live in a modern world, right? I mean, why not to use interfaces? So for me, I prefer interfaces, because I am writing applications with interfaces, right? And I prefer to use interfaces, right? Because when I use much more interfaces, right? When I interact with more interfaces with different applications, I can understand, okay, that is work, that is clear for user. Oh, it's not clear. This is the one part of my explanation, but second explanation, I do not really keep all the commands in my head, right? So I need to Google them and so on. Here in the application, I do not need to Google, I do not need to refresh my memory, right? I mean, I can use everything, all of the commands are here, right? Okay, we talked about it. Wonderful. So let's return to our code, right? Okay, we created, let's double check last time that it is working. It is working. Wonderful. So what would be next? Probably let's try to do initializing, right? I mean, I am trying to think about how we are going to load application, right? So regularly we want to see a screen with a spinner, something like this, right? And we want to show loading process, right? So let's do that. Let's create another module, right? So new file, not Swift UI, just do we have just UI, UIKit, UIKit. No, I thought we had it. No. Okay, let's create code touch class. I think that's what I was looking for. NS object, it would be UIViewController, right? And it will be we already have a RootViewController, right? So but we need loading view controller. AppLoadingViewController. Right, so when we open application, we can see that screen. It can be anything. It can be placeholder with image. It can be another spinner, right? It can be spinner, right, in the center. We will do that. Okay. Next. And yep. So what we did right now, we added new view controller, right? But remember, we right now have router and we have assembly. Let's go to our assembly and create another view controller type. So it is going to be AppLoad maybe. Okay, it could be AppLoad. So yep, and that means that in assembly we need to add another controller, right? AppLoad, and we will have like this AppLoadingViewController. Okay, so then we need to load it first, right? So we load our controllers in a router, right? And we have it here. Okay, it is going to be AppLoad, right? Wonderful. So right now let's return to our AppLoadingViewController and add here spinner, right? We do not need this, right? So we need to add spinner. Oh, first of all, let run it. It's absolutely good, right? So, and of course what we're doing, we want to save. We open our source tree. This repository is located on a GitHub. You will find the link in the description. So let's make a commit. Push. No, you were near. I'm not going to push it before I release video. So what I did, I just created, okay, init it, and this AppLoadingViewController, right? Commit. Wonderful. So what we're going to do next? So let's set a background color, view background color, it will be white. Then let's add a spinner. So view no, let spinner activity. I will copy the name, right? UI activity indicator view, right? And we can do it here, right? So then, oh, do we need to define any frame? I think no, right? So then we want to add it. So view background, view add subview activity indicator, right? Then activity indicator view center equal view dot center, and we need to run activity indicator. As I correctly remember, again, I didn't touch SwiftUI, UIKit. I mean, seriously touch more than 2 years, so I didn't sit down and write like a whole application using UIKit. So if I make a mistake, sorry. And of course, you know what to do. Write in the comments. Okay, so start animating, right? And probably we will need to have here maybe no, maybe we are not going to hide it. I was thinking about keeping the property here, like a reference to this view, right? But when our loading, right, we will emulate loading, we will just dismiss this screen, right? We are not going to keep it, right? I mean, that means that we do not need even to stop animating. We will destroy whole view controller, right? Oh yeah, I like destroying. So let's try to run, please. Make it work. Yay, it is working, right? Let me make bigger. It's bigger. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so we did that. What is our next plan? Our next plan to put a sleep, right? We want to delay. So dispatch queue. Okay, dispatch queue. What I'm doing right now, I want to set a timer for maybe like random value. I don't know. We will decide like from something up to second, like maybe from 0.5 second, half second to second, right? And then switch view controller, right? Since here in what view do you know, in what thread we are here? Yeah, you can answer, of course. Correct, this is the main thread here. So regularly this function will be called by a system, by iOS, on the main thread. So all of here, like all of this thing will be executed in the main thread. So if we put sleep here, we will see like a freeze, right? We don't want to see freeze, right? So that means that we can launch this code, run this code not in non-main thread. Again, understanding of dispatch queue is very important. If you do not know how it is working, I suggest no, you must know that. This concept, you will be asked about this concept 1,000,000,000%. So about multi-threading in iOS. So just Google it, multi-threading on iOS, or dispatch queue Swift. Just these two words, and probably you will find something. This is concept for UIKit when we use dispatch queues, but probably it's not. Sorry, I think I will make a mistake. So misunderstanding. So dispatch queue is like a traditional way before new concurrency based embed in a Swift language. So you can use dispatch queues, right? Or you can use concurrent functionality that already inside Swift language. So yeah, I think I will stop here, right? It's too detailed. So dispatch queue, we want to use global queue, and we for example want to do like a utility, right? Priority and global, no, quality of service, right? QoS. And we want to use user initiated, right? Because it should be pretty, as I correctly remember, right? Do we have any explanation of this? Ew. Whoa, it's too scared, right? We are not going to read that. So Google it about dispatch queues, Google it, or concurrency in iOS applications, Google it. You must know it. Async, right? So we want to run this function to run in parallel this function, right? So what will happen? What we're going to write? We're going to write something like sleep, and let's see what will happen. Yep, you can see that we have where are we? Yeah, we're here. Let's put 3 seconds just to be clear, right? Boom, right. Yeah, I think I will do next thing. It will be 2 and here will be 1, that you can see that it is happen. Yeah, regularly, like you can use print in your code just to debug application. Yep. Okay, so what is my plan? I want to put any value, for example 0.51, right, in this range, and I want to pick any random value. Can we do this? No, we cannot do this. Okay. What about this? Random. Oh, okay. So let's make it cleaner. Okay, will it work? No, it does not go. Oh, we need uint 32. Uint 32. I hope we have a random function. Again, let's check. So probably, I just want to know, like, probably we can use milliseconds, right? So let's do that. So milliseconds will be from this number, right, up to 1 second. Even like this. And we can test it, right? Always test everything, right? We will write some tests. Date.now, and then here, like, let's do this. Just 2 seconds, right? From 1 to 2. Just to be sure that this is correct. So I always do, if I do not remember something, you your code, experiment in your code to double sure that you are on the right way. Okay, what's happened? Oh, I'm sorry. Let's do again. It should be 1 second or 2 seconds. Okay, let's run again. It should be 1 second. Show me 1 second. Yeah, 1 second. You can see the difference, right? Okay, so that means that we are using everything correct. So, and right now we want to set half second to the second, right? And this will be Useconds, right? Okay, so that is good. Useconds means millisecond. Okay, let's do this. Milliseconds. Oh, maybe. Yep. Okay. I mean, Usecond, this U, it's like from a measurement system, maybe from a physics, maybe from mathematics. So, but yeah, very important understanding for us that, guys, we are writing code to another developer, right? Like, oh, your task would be like every day you will open anyone's code and you will have to clean it, you have to understand it. And when you have something like this, right, and you have, I don't know, like A, right, like this, like, come on, how can I read it, right? Like add view A, what is A, right? Okay, we can see it, but what if this thing be here, right? Right, we have no idea how it is working, UI view, right? We have no idea, like, what developer wanted to say us. We have to read all the code and we create a complexity, right? We don't want to make a complexity, so we want to make our code cleaner, right? So that is the reason why I decided to change like Useconds to milliseconds, because okay, maybe you know it, maybe you have a mathematical, like a technical background, maybe not. I mean, it's no matter, right? Your task to make it clean, to make the code clean. Also, we can do it even better, right? We may create this activity indicator, right, in a different function. Activity, let me copy it. Create activity indicator, right? Indicator, and we will return this activity indicator, right? Okay, how will it work, right? We will do this, we will put it here. Okay, yep, and we will return it. Return activity indicator view, right? And here, what we are doing, we just use this function. Let's check how it is working. Okay, so let's make a comment, right? Always remember, if you make a very small steps, for you will be much easier to roll back. Like, if you make a mistake and you think, okay, like, it's too complex right now, I need to go several step backs, you can do it. And since, remember, we created another branch, we name it feature core, right? That means that we're absolutely safe. It's not on a main line, it's not on a main branch, right? And then if we decided to burn all of this branch, we can do it. Okay. What we're going, let's try to understand, like, create it, or maybe refactor it. refactored activity indicator. Activity. Oh, it's too small. Activity indicator. But where, right? In here, in this class. Okay. Right now, what we're going to do? We need to switch to another screen, right? Like we wait this time, right? This milliseconds, and then we need to navigate. What do we use to navigate? We have one class that we use to navigate, right? Router, right? Router. So we use it to navigate. Yes, you're right. Absolutely. But here we do not have router. Well, I'm sorry. Here, right? We do not have it. What we're gonna do? We need to put it. So, okay. Private var router. It will be routerable. And of course weak. Why weak? It will be weak because we want to use here copy, right? First, because this is class, right? And we do not want to make any kind of retain cycle. So this is like a main concept. You will try to keep your references to the classes in a very slim way. That means you are not going to create. So it's a very interesting rule, right? So to avoid any retain cycles, even if I know that I will just call these functions of router, and we will not transfer self, right, this object into router. Anyway, I want to be safe. I want to remove memory, right? Remove memory. I want to release memory as much as possible. So for me, I prefer to use for all classes where it is possible to use weak, where it is possible. It is not always possible, right? But here we can use like weak references. Why? Because strong reference here in the core. What you are talking, Vasil? What is references? Okay. What do we need to Google? ARC. We need to Google ARC, automatic reference counter, right? So Google it and read about this concept. This is how system clean unused memory, release memory for the other applications, for other I don't know, executions, for other functions, right? So this is also must be in your head, right? ARC, automatic reference counter. What we are going to do? We are going to Google, and if we have questions, maybe we will try to understand it together, right? I can record video and we can sit together and try to explain it, try to play with it, right? Try to make some proofs in the code. Okay, so in the core we keep strong reference. So as you see, weak reference will be marked as weak, and strong reference will not be marked as weak, right? we are typing nothing, right? And that means this is a strong reference. Okay, so and what we're going to do, right now we need to put router here, but we need to create constructor right here, and let's see what is gonna happen when we create. Of course we will need this thing, right? Okay, super dot as I correctly remember, we can deprecate it, right? If I can correctly... I do not remember. Okay. Let's do this thing, right? Let's use it, if it's possible. Okay. Self.init. Okay, not self, super.init. Okay. And okay, it is not working. Okay, okay, super init UIKit, right? We cannot. Okay, so we cannot use it. We can do this thing. It will be nil, and that's also would be nil, because we are not going to use any of this. Right, let's try to run. Oh, and right now we cannot run because we created constructor and transfer all properties. Why we created constructor? So you can see here this property router, right? In this class, like when I use it here, for example, right? I have no idea who created this router. I have no idea how it is work. I just need it, right? And this is my input parameters. When anyone will create this view controller, this object, AppLoadingViewController, right? We will say, hey, I will not create it because I need router, right? Like, hey, it's condition. So we'll like conditions, right? And this is the reason why I created this constructor. And since we are creating all our applications here, all our view controllers, right? We need to define router, right? And here we have a problem. We need router here, right? Weak private weak var router, and it is router able, and looks like we need this, right? What? Let's look at this. We have assembly here and we have router here. Okay. How to resolve this problem? So for router we can make an exception, right? We can make an exception. Let me try. I want to use constructors, right? I want to use initializer, but how can I do that without using router, right? So I still do not want to make it available to anyone, right? But I can create a function set router, right? So assembly, this function will live only inside core. So there is it's like an agreement, right? That each time when we create assembly, we have to run this. If we are not going to run this, it will fail because router here not exist. So it's kind of okay. Let's set it. So router assembly, and here when we create it, let's use this assembly set router, right? And we will put this router here. And right now, what can we do? Let's try to, for example, print router. cell.router. And what we're going to do? I'm checking the time. Oh, we're something. Okay, we have it. We're something around 1 hour. So this is like a format that I'm sticked right now. Okay, let's try to make latest navigation, right? So last part. We want right now. Can you hear it? Mr. Forni decided to come back. Wonderful. Forni, you're so good. You're welcome. Please enter. Look at this guy. He's incredible, right? Right? Of course, no hugs, because you do not like hugs, right? Okay, let's continue, right? So, what do we need? Forni, please, just sit here, right? Just sit here. Just sit here. Okay, so what do we need? We need another function, right? What kind of function? Where we are going to navigate, right? We have a router, wonderful, and then we need another function. It will be what kind of function, right? Will be route to where? I think we will stop here in this wonderful moment, right? And we will continue this in the next video. I will try to record it like in 2 days. I will try. One more promise to myself. So when I you see it, right? You see this mister. So I will let's make a comment, right? Code should work. Wonderful. Okay, so let's make a commit first, right? So edit idea of router injection into view controllers, right? Come on, Forni. Hey, edit idea of router inject. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry for this. I hope it's not too loud. Forni. Hey, stop it, please. Nothing is interesting. This is my wardrobe. Like, maybe he put something there. I will check it. Okay. Commit. I will push it on video release. I'm waiting for your comments, for your idea, anything, any feedback, right, guys? Again, I am not YouTuber, I am just learning, and this is just for fun. Have a wonderful rest of the week, month, year, everything, right? Thank you for watching this video. Bye.